Okay, so I know that New Year is right around the corner, so Happy New Year to all you DOTA fans. And today's video we're gonna be watching the most try-hard Morphling game yet, as this game is super intense and full of high tempo plays. But more importantly, we're gonna see what we can extract and learn from them. And so for the Morphling's laning phase, it's a pretty decent matchup as he is going against a Razor and a Tusk. In this lane, things will get real ugly real quick if either side is not careful. And almost instantly as the lane starts, you can see that the enemy Razor has no chill as he started drinking the water out of him. So in order to win this lane, you first have to secure creeps, which is a pain in the ass, especially going against an enemy that love to harass, like a Razor and a Tusk. And so by being super careful in this lane, you kind of have to play for your support and last hit together at the same time. And so 3 minutes into the lane, his Ogre Magi support actually did a super big brain play that actually many support wouldn't dare to do. So you see 3 minutes in, he actually directly ran into the Lotus Fountain just to secure the Lotus. And from doing that, he actually baited a lot of spells from the enemy hero like the Razor Suck and even the Ice Shark. And because of that, he just casually TPs out as well, betting on the fact that the Tusk did not have his snowball at level 2. But what actually happened here was that he actually created an opportunity. You see, one of the weakness here is the Razor Suck, which actually have a long cooldown timing. And because his support actually baited it and TP'd out into the lane, the Morphling now actually has a rare opportunity where he can harass the enemy. But in this case, harassing is one thing as he actually committed to them, and there's nothing the Razor can do but watch his support die. And all of this play happened as he was just few seconds away from his second spell. So in this lane, the Morphling actually went for the max waveform for the extra range just in case the Razor wants to suck him. And I actually like how aggressive his own teammate support is on the Ogre Magi as he sees an opportunity and just went for it. And because of his support plays, the Morphling can actually freely do what he wants and harass the enemy and secure a kill. And I understand that some of this high level support rotation might not happen in the game, but once in a while I find it satisfying to see how the high level plays in this game would work. And so in this game, his mid laner is actually a Tiny, and Tiny is often known as a playmaker that likes to gank other lanes. And so this is how the Morphling react to the gank.
They're trying to bring down Radiant's top tower. Dire's middle tower is drowning.
And so for this game, the Radiant is actually just as aggressive, as you can see that the Morphling always has a situation where he either needs to help his teammate or he can join the team fight. Situation like this doesn't really happen in the lower ranked games, but you can see that there's actually a lot of close calls coming in this game, which actually shows how try-hard this game is and how much space the Morphling has to farm in this game. And so for some of you that may not know this, if you're looking for a guaranteed team fight, you can just defend your tier 1 tower. And just by attempting to defend your tier 1 tower, you are essentially acting as a bait for a teammate, giving them information of where the enemy are. The reason why you want to bait for your teammate is because most of the carry heroes, they don't really have the ability to lock down heroes at this early of the game, as the Morphling only has the Venomous offering. But on the other side, his team actually has a lot of stun, which is actually pretty good for a gank. And so sometimes what you have to do is just let your teammate go first, as your hero doesn't really do much if you're in the fight first. Alright, so we're gonna do a time skip here on one of the biggest team fight of this game. Right, so both teams actually wants a second Roshan for the Aegis. So the Dire actually smoked themselves and went to the bottom left side of the outpost, as they expect the Radiant expects them to be on top of the Twin Gate. And so it may seem that they're actually losing the fight at the very start. But what they're actually doing is that they're actually running away from the BKB that is popped by the Ursa and the Razor. And so this is one of the very interesting fighting patterns that you should know. And that is sometimes you can just wait for objectives like enemies BKB and just wait it out and then proceed to back off for better area and vision. And if the enemy still decides to chase you, that's where you can fight at your own advantage. Just like over here, as you can see that the support tasks actually don't want to let them to run away, but ended up dying first, giving them the free solo kill. And that is where he baited his own teammate into trying to secure the kill on a Tiny, but ended up not having enough damage and giving the Morphling free hits and eventually getting the Lina kill as well. So to sum it up for this team fight, you just gotta be very versatile into knowing what the enemy has, as it could be ultimate cooldown or skill cooldowns like BKBs. And that is how the Dire won this crucial fight that will eventually secure them the Roche.